Greetings. Today, we delve into a crucial piece of legislation aimed at safeguarding the most vulnerable members of a society, our children. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, commonly known as POCSO, was enacted in 2012 by the Government of India. This landmark law addresses the pressing issue of child sexual abuse and provides a comprehensive legal framework to ensure justice and protection for victims. The POCSO Act is designed to be gender neutral, offering equal protection to both boys and girls. It criminalizes a wide range of sexual offences against children and prescribes stringent punishments for offenders. From defining what constitutes sexual harassment, sexual assault, and exploitation to outlining the procedures for reporting, investigating, and prosecuting these crimes, POCSO covers all aspects necessary to protect children from sexual offences. A significant feature of the POCSO Act is it emphasizes on creating a child-friendly judicial process. This includes the establishment of special courts to handle cases swiftly and sensitively, ensuring that the child's dignity and mental well-being are preserved throughout the legal proceedings. Moreover, the Act mandates the reporting of suspected offences, reflecting society's collective responsibility to protect the children from harm. The stringent punishments and proactive measures laid out in POCSO sends a strong message that the child sexual abuse will not be tolerated and that perpetrators will be held accountable. Through various sections of the POCSO Act, we will explore how it defines and categorizes different offences, the procedures for the legal redress, and roles in implementing this vital legislation. By understanding the scope and application of POCSO, we can better contribute to creating a safer environment for our children, ensuring their right to a life free from abuse and exploitation. Defining a child under Section 2 of the POCSO Act. Under POCSO Act, a child is defined as anyone under the age of 18 years old. This means all individuals below this age are protected by the law. For instance, a 15-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, both are covered under POCSO's provisions. Categories of offences under the POCSO Act. POCSO outlines three main types of sexual offences: sexual assault, sexual harassment, and using a child for pornography. Now let's delve deeper into each category. Sexual assault. Sexual assault is dealt under Section 7 and 8 of the POCSO Act 2012.
Sexual assault involves touching a child's private parts or making a child touch someone else's private parts. For example, if an adult touches a child's genitals, it constitutes sexual assault. The punishment for this is imprisonment for 3 to 5 years, and a fine may also be imposed. If a man in a crowded bus touches a 16-year-old girl's breast intentionally, then it counts as a sexual assault. The next category of sexual offence is a penetrative sexual assault, which is dealt under Section 3 of the POCSO Act. The penetrative sexual assault, as defined, is the penetration of the child's sexual organs. So this includes any form of penetration, no matter how slight, of the vagina, anus, urethra of the child, by any part of the body of another person or through any object. For example, if an adult forces a child to have vaginal intercourse, it constitutes penetrative sexual assault. This also includes the insertion of any object into the vagina, anus, urethra of the child. This also falls under this category. Using a foreign object to penetrate a child's body is considered as a penetrative sexual assault. Manipulation of any part of the child's body, also causing penetration thereby, is also included under this section. If someone uses the fingers to penetrate a child's body, it qualifies as penetrative sexual assault. Now, forcing a child to perform or submit to oral sex is also considered as a penetrative sexual assault. Compelling a child to perform oral sex, performing oral sex on a child, all these are categorized under this section. Section 4 of the POCSO Act prescribes stringent punishment for those found guilty of penetrative sexual assault. The punishment includes imprisonment The minimum punishment of penetrative sexual assault is rigorous imprisonment for not less than 7 years. However, the imprisonment can extend to life imprisonment also. If an individual is found guilty of forcing a child to have sex, they can be sentenced to a minimum of 7 years of imprisonment, which may extend up to imprisonment for life. In addition to imprisonment, the guilty party is also liable to pay a fine. The amount is decided by the court and is intended to be deterrent to committing such heinous acts in the future. So an offender faces both long-term imprisonment as well as significant fine. The punishment can be more severe if the cases involves aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Aggravated penetrative sexual assault includes the additional factors such as age of the child, the relationship between the child and the offender, or if the child suffers some grievous bodily harm or mental trauma. If the victim is under 12 years of the age, or if the offender is someone in a position of trust and authority like a parent, a teacher, a police officer, the penalties are even more harsher. So aggravated penetrative sexual assault given under section 5 and 6 of the POCSO Act. In these cases, the assault involves additional heinous circumstances. The penalties are prescribed under section 6, which are even more severe. So rigorous imprisonment of not less than 10 years, which may extend to life imprisonment or even death penalty in extreme cases, is awarded as an enhanced punishment. A repeated offender or an assault result in death of the child may also leads to death penalty, that is capital punishment. So in the POCSO Amendment Act of 2019,
if the victim is under 16 or 12 years old, or if the assault involves multiple offenders, the punishment is more severe, ranging from 20 years of life imprisonment to death penalty in extreme cases. For example, if a man rapes a 10-year-old girl, he could face life imprisonment or death penalty. This is the provision given in the POCSO Act. Moving on to section 11 and 12, which talks about sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is basically some actions making lewd comments, sounds, gestures towards a child sexually. For example, if someone follows a 13-year-old girl or a boy and makes obscene gestures, it is considered as sexual harassment and it is punishable with imprisonment, which may extend up to 3 years, and a fine may also be imposed. Moving further, sections 13, 14 and 15 talks about using a child for pornography. Using a child for pornography means involving them in sexual acts and showing their sexual organs in any media. For instance, filming a child in sexual act is using a child for pornography. The punishment is imprisonment for 5 years and fine, which may increase up to 7 years in case of repeated offenders. Storing and distributing of child pornographic material can result in imprisonment for 3 years and a fine may also be imposed. Mandatory reporting under section 19 of the POCSO Act. Anyone who knows about or suspects an offence must report it immediately to the nearest police station. Failing to do so can lead to imprisonment of maximum 6 months and a fine may be imposed. This requirement applies to everyone, including teachers, doctors, and who not. For example, if a teacher suspects a student being abused but does not report it, then the teacher may be punished. False accusations under section 22. Making a false complaint can result in imprisonment up to 6 months and a fine may be imposed. If the false information is against a child, the punishment can increase up to 1 year. However, children giving false information are not punished. If an adult falsely accuses someone for assaulting a child sexually, they can face legal consequences. Maintenance of confidentiality of POCSO cases dealt under section 23. The identity of child victims must be protected at all costs. Media cannot reveal any details that might identify the child. Violating this can result in imprisonment of 6 months, which may go up to 1 year, and a fine may be imposed. Publishing a photo of a child victim can lead to this punishment. Recording of statements in POCSO cases dealt under Section 24. When an offence is reported, the child's statement should be recorded in a comfortable environment, preferably by a women police officer not in uniform. Translators or special educators should be provided if the child needs. For instance, if a child with a hearing impairment needs to give a statement, a sign language interpreter should be present. Medical examinations of POCSO cases under Section 27 of the POCSO Act 2012. The child must be medically examined as soon as possible, ideally by a woman doctor, in the presence of the parents or a trusted person. For example, if a girl needs a medical examination after an assault, it should be done by a female doctor with her mother present then and there. Trial of cases dealt under Section 28 to 34 of the POCSO Act. These cases are tried in special courts to ensure speedy justice and avoid re-victimizing the child. The trial must be in camera, that is, it should be held in private and it should be child-friendly. The court presumes the accused is guilty if there is evidence, and the accused must prove their innocence. Cases should be resolved within 1 year. For instance, a child testifying should do so in a private room with only essential personnel present there. Now let us look deeper into the recent POCSO cases and landmark judgments. Satish Ragde vs. State of Maharashtra, reported in the year 2021, the Bombay High Court controversially ruled that groping a child over clothes without skin-to-skin contact did not constitute sexual assault under the POCSO Act. This decision was later overturned by the Supreme Court, affirming that any form of inappropriate touching qualifies a sexual assault under the Act. State of Kerala vs. Rajesh, reported in the year 2022, the Kerala High Court sentenced a man to life imprisonment for the repeated rape of a 5-year-old girl. The court highlighted the severe psychological impact on the victim and the need for harsh punishment to deter such crimes. X vs. State of Maharashtra, reported in the year 2022, the Bombay High Court ruled that a minor's consent is irrelevant in POCSO cases. This ruling came from a case where a 16-year-old girl was in a relationship with an older man. The court stressed that the law is clear about protecting the children from sexual exploitation, regardless of perceived consent. Rekha Sharma vs. State of Uttarakhand, reported in the year 2023, the Uttarakhand High Court emphasized the importance of speedy trials in POCSO cases, directing lower courts to prioritize such cases and conclude them within the stipulated 1-year period. This case involved a 14-year-old girl who had been assaulted by her neighbor, and the swift trial was seen as crucial for delivering justice. Challenges in implementation. Despite the comprehensive framework, the implementation of the POCSO Act faces severe challenges. Lack of awareness. Many people, including the key stakeholders like law enforcement officers, judiciary members, the child protection professionals, they lack sufficient knowledge about the Act. This often leads to inadequate reporting and mishandling of the cases. Secondly, limited resources. There is a shortage of specialized child-friendly courts, forensic laboratories, and trained counselors. This can delay investigation and prosecutions, affecting the timely delivery of justice. Socio-cultural factors. The stigma associated with sexual abuse and the reluctance of families to report cases often hinder the successful implementation of the POCSO Act. Now, we call for an action to effectively protect the children from sexual abuse. It is crucial to address these challenges. Firstly, we should raise awareness. Comprehensive education about the POCSO Act is very essential. This can be achieved only through educational programs in schools, awareness campaigns in public spaces, trainings for frontline workers. Increased public knowledge can empower the community to identify and address the incidents of child sexual abuse. And we should improve the resources. Investing in specialized infrastructure such as child-friendly courts, forensic laboratories is vital in providing adequate training for counselors. Legal professionals can help in handling cases more effectively. We should also encourage the reporting. Reducing the stigma associated with the sexual abuse through the community outreach and support programs can encourage more families to come forward and report the incidents. Enhancing cooperation between government agencies, civil society organizations, and the community is essential for a holistic approach to protect the children. Now, we will look into some legal insights on POCSO cases in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, like many other states in India, has faced significant challenges and made strides in the implementation of the POCSO Act. Here, we provide an overview of how recent legal insights and landmark POCSO cases in Tamil Nadu that highlight the effectiveness and challenges of the POCSO Act. The case of sexual assault by a school teacher in Kanyakumari, which was reported in the year 2022. In Kanyakumari, a 15-year-old girl was sexually assaulted by her school teacher. The incident came to light when the girl confided with her parents, leading to the teacher's arrest. The court swiftly sentenced the teacher to 10 years imprisonment, emphasizing the betrayal of trust involved. So, betrayal of trust. The swift sentencing in this case underscores the judiciary's recognition of severe betrayal of trust where the individual in position of authority like teachers abuse of power. Speedy trial. This case demonstrates the importance of speedy trial in POCSO cases to ensure timely justice for victims, reducing the trauma they endure during the prolonged legal process. The next case, for instance, is case of the sexual harassment by a neighbor in Chennai reported in the year 2023. A 13-year-old boy was sexually harassed by a neighbor who lured him with gifts. The boy's parents noticed behavioral changes and reported the matter to the police. The accused was arrested and in the case is currently being tried in special POCSO court. Here, the parental vigilance plays a perspective role. This case highlights the crucial role of parents in recognizing the signs of abuse and taking prompt action. It also emphasized the need for educating parents about the symptoms of sexual abuse. The importance of reporting. The parents' quick reporting led to the arrest of the perpetrator, illustrating the importance of mandatory reporting under Section 19 of the POCSO Act. Next on the list is the case from Madurai. Case of coerced sexual relationship in Madurai reported in the year 2023. A 16-year-old girl was coerced into a sexual relationship by a relative. The girl mustered the courage to report the abuse to her school counselor, who facilitated for her to file a complaint to the police. The accused was sentenced to 15 years of imprisonment under the POCSO Act. So here we see the role of school counselors. This case underscores the critical role that the school counselors can play in supporting victims and ensuring the abuse is reported to the authorities. It also highlights the need for schools to have trained personnel to handle such sensitive issues. The significant sentence reflects the judiciary's commitment to deterring the sexual offences and protecting the children from sexual exploitation, even by family members. Legal challenges in Tamil Nadu. So, despite these successes, there are several ongoing challenges in the implementation of the POCSO Act, especially in Tamil Nadu. The first is, as already discussed, there is lack of awareness and training. So, many law enforcement officers and the judicial members are not still fully aware of the nuances and the loopholes under the POCSO Act. This lack of knowledge can lead to improper handling of cases. Instances have been reported where police officers failed to follow proper protocols for following and recording the statement, for conducting the investigations, and leading to delays and potential mishandling of the evidences. Secondly, the socio-cultural barrier, where the cultural stigma associated with the sexual abuse often prevent victims and their families from reporting the incidents. Especially in rural areas, there is a tendency to handle cases informally and within the community rather than approaching the legal system, which results in underreporting of the POCSO cases. Thirdly, the judicial delays. So despite the mandate for speedy trial, backlog in courts often result in delayed justices. Many POCSO cases still face a significant delay due to the high volume of cases and insufficient number of special courts dedicated to handle them. Now we will look into some of the recommendations for improving enhanced training programs. Regular training sessions should be conducted for police officers, judges, and other stakeholders to ensure they are well versed with the POCSO provisions. Workshops and seminars focusing on the latest amendments and judicial interpretations can improve the handling of cases. We may conduct many public awareness campaigns. So, initiatives to raise awareness about POCSO among the general public can encourage more reporting and support for victims. So, using media, schools, community centers to disseminate information about the rights of the children and the importance of reporting cases. Increase in special courts. Establishing more special courts dedicated to handling POCSO cases can reduce the backlog and ensure faster resolution of cases. Increasing the number of child-friendly courtrooms and ensuring they are equipped with necessary facilities like video conferencing for recording victim statement may help us enhance this process. Victim support mechanisms. Strengthening support system for victims, including psychological counseling, legal aid, can help them navigate the legal process. Setting up victim support cells in every district with trained counselors and legal advisors to assist their families along with the victims. To conclude, the POCSO Act is a robust legal framework designed to protect children from sexual offences. However, its successful implementation requires overcoming various challenges through increased awareness, better training of the personnel, and enhanced support system. By addressing these issues, Tamil Nadu can ensure that the spirit of the POCSO Act is upheld, providing justice and protection to all children. The POCSO Act is a vital tool in protecting children from sexual offences and ensuring strict punishment for offenders. However, its success relies on widespread awareness, robust implementation, and coordinated efforts from all sectors of the society. By addressing these challenges and taking proactive steps, we can create a safer environment for our children and ensure their healthy development. Thank you.